the unemployment rate's going to be. It doesn't matter to me. My campaign doesn't hinge on unemployment rates and growth rates.
One of the people who's running also for the Republican nomination today said that he doesn't care about the unemployment rate. That doesn't bother him. I do care about the unemployment rate. It does bother me.
Well, that's the latest heat in the race for Republican presidential nomination. Rick Santorum's eyebrow-raising comment on the unemployment rate, which, as you just saw there, left an opening for Mitt Romney to pounce. Santorum quickly corrected himself, and it all comes ahead of today's important Illinois primary. 54 GOP delegates at stake, and recent polls show Mitt Romney may be pulling away in Illinois. Let's bring in our News Nation political panel, Washington Post opinion writer and MSNBC contributor Jonathan Capehart, Chicago Sun-Times columnist and Washington Bureau Chief Lynn Sweet, and nationally syndicated radio talk show host Steve Deace, who is still holding on to that Newt Gingrich endorsement. But I figured that's going to end soon. So, Steve, I'll start off with you here, since you're the conservative on the panel. Okay, Rick Santorum saying, I don't care about the unemployment rate. He came back out. He tried to clarify it. Let me play his clarification and see if you buy it.
Of course I care about the unemployment rate. I want the unemployment rate to go down. But I'm saying my candidacy doesn't hinge on whether the unemployment rate goes up and down.
Well, here's the problem with that. President Obama's reelection, according to the GOP, hinges on the unemployment rate, among other factors. So why would it not hinge for Rick Santorum to come up with a plan or put it on his priority list?
Well, I think what you heard Rick Santorum say there, Tamarin, is that he's running on bigger ideas than just simply what the unemployment rate is month in and month out. And this, of course, is what happens with the long sloth of a campaign. I mean, if the unemployment rate is down, then obviously the Obama people are going to crow about that. If it's up, then the Republican challengers are going to obviously try to make hay about that. To me, the bigger issue in the clips you just played is just another example of just how low and despicable of a panderer Romney can be as a candidate. I mean, just how much he can insult the intelligence of the American people. Now, this is a guy who just 2 months ago got creamed.
I know you have no love for Mitt Romney. You wanted to run him out of Iowa, and you got a lot of credit for doing that. But come on, you're going to pivot to Mitt Romney while I'm asking you about Rick Santorum and say he's the panderer here? Help me understand it.
Well, first of all, you guys are the ones juxtaposing the clips. I mean, remember 2 months ago, Romney got creamed for saying, well, I don't care about poor people. That's not my issue. He got creamed for that. And now he wants to turn around, and he claimed he was taken out of context, and now he wants to turn around and do the exact same thing with Rick Santorum in this case. I mean, this is silly high school high school election kind of stuff. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that just turns people off to politics.
I'm going to take issue with that, and you're one of my close friends. I do not think any conversation related to unemployment is silly. I think anything that is said about it warrants comment. We're both fortunate to have a job. We're able to pay, I guess, most of our bills on time. But here's the deal. That is, to me, not silly high school talk. Jonathan, again, to Steve's point, this is a larger narrative of Romney finding openings, but he didn't open the door. Rick Santorum did it again to himself, from social issues to now this issue.
Right. Rick Santorum has this incredible pattern of being very forthright, very truthful, very honest, very not of the filter, gets into trouble, and then has to backtrack. I think the difference here is that he's backtracked very, very quickly off what he said on not caring about unemployment rates. And the reason why he's gotten into trouble, I hope I'm not stating the obvious, it's that even though people like their presidents floating at the 37,000-foot level and trying to come up with big ideas, grand ideas to move the country forward and the economy forward, they want to know that the person who's leading the country really does care about the number of people who are unemployed, what the unemployment rate is, and what they're going to do specifically to get those people back to work.
Well, Lynn, is it just the simple fact of the reason why Rick Santorum and maybe even Mitt Romney will downplay the unemployment rate is because it's not at 10%, that it is not at the high dream of maybe even 9% for some who want to see this president out of the White House? Is that the bigger issue here? Because he cannot laser focus in and use that at this moment against the administration currently in office? Lynn?
Well, yes, the answer is yes. When unemployment was over 9%, it gave a lot of material for the Republicans to talk about. What we have in this latest episode, of course, is that Romney not giving the benefit of the doubt. I think he wanted last week when he said he wanted to get rid of Planned Parenthood, and then he said, oh, I wanted to get rid of the subsidy for Planned Parenthood. At this level, people have to be able to say what they mean without backing into the negative. For Santorum and Romney, they know that the lower the unemployment rate goes, or the more attention on it, and if it is better for President Obama, it makes it harder for them to make their case that he needs to be replaced.
All right, let me switch to Illinois. So, Steve, Romney is up in several polls, including one that puts him nearly double digits, if not further ahead there. What do you make of this race tonight?
Well, I think we are seeing a status quo now, a portion of the race, Tamron, where Mitt Romney is going to win another state that Republicans have a snowball's chance in a very warm place of winning this fall, and he's going to crow about momentum. And really, this whole race now is stagnant. Santorum's going to win Louisiana on Saturday, and so this is now stagnant where until April 24th, that's now the next key date. That's the Pennsylvania primary, and that is winner take all. If Romney is able to win there, that'll be a true road win, and then that is the only plausible way, I believe, he could wrap this up prior to June 5th. If Santorum wins his home state, if you run the numbers, Romney cannot win until June 5th at the earliest.
Lynn?
If I could jump in, I hope your viewers know, or should know, this is the beauty contest, or the popular vote, which I think is what you were just talking about now, is something that Mitt Romney is probably going to win. But the real story in Illinois is the delegate hunt tonight. And because of the way they're apportioned and they are elected, Santorum does have a chance of doing well. It's really 18 different elections. He didn't run delegates in every of the 18 districts, but that's what you watch for, and people know that. And you can't slough it off. If Santorum does pick up a chunk, it will give him yet another raison-être for staying in.
Lynn, he can't win at least 10 of the delegates, though. He can't win at least 10 of the delegates because his campaign didn't file the necessary paperwork.
Absolutely, that is, yes. And he woke up this morning with that delegate deficit. However, about half of them were in districts, Tamron, that are near the city of Chicago, where you have city and suburban Republicans that probably would have voted for the Romney delegates. All I'm saying is, when you're looking at Illinois tonight, keep your eye on the delegate win. The beauty contest is nice. It'll give someone bragging rights. Believe me, everyone would be very surprised if Romney doesn't win, based, if nothing else, on all the Republicans in Chicago, Cook County, and the surrounding suburbs.
And Jonathan, real quick, First Read points out that for it to really be a big night for Mitt Romney, he needs to break 50% here. He needs to win big.
Right. He needs to win big in a state that should, I mean, if you're looking at everything, should go his way. And, you know, Rick Santorum has this also another pattern of when you, in the days before going into a big state primary, he's either tied or in the lead or tied. And then when the people actually go to vote, Mitt Romney pulls it out. So, I mean, that could happen again tonight.
Jonathan, Lynn, and Steve. And Steve, I would like to hear you one more time say Mitt-mentum. I know it kills you to say anything about Mitt. So one more time, Mitt-mentum. Is that it?
I'm twitching. I don't know if I can do it, Tamron. I'm sorry. I'm shuddering. Steve. I don't think I can do it.
That's from the conservative there. Thank you very much, guys. Greatly appreciate it.